Hey guys, we're back working on the 1950 Buick two-door Special. I want to start getting things ready to close this thing in. As you may recall from previous videos, the kids did a number on this thing. These were busted out many years ago. This back window unfortunately got busted out this spring. Same with the other side. But I would like to get some glass cut to put in here. So in today's video, we're going to see if we can get some kind of template made out of some Corroplast that I can take to my local glass shop and get them to cut a replacement windows. I can order in all new windows for this, but if we can get them cut locally, that would be better. We are not going to be able to get a curved windshield cut for the front here, but we can possibly get some plexiglass or something to put in there to just to keep the weather out of the old beast while we're working on it. Follow along. Hopefully you enjoy this one. We'll see what we get into. Thanks for watching. This is Corroplast. It is basically, for lack of a better description, it's essentially plastic cardboard. And it gives a little bit of thickness and rigidity, but still it's plastic, it's easy to work with. I picked this up at the local hardware store over on the US side, Menards, and they wanted to get all white, but they didn't have any more white, so I grabbed a sheet of red. What we've got to do here, I think, is we're going to have to get this trim off all the way around. Probably going to have to get some window and door handles off, armrest, get the rest of this, shall we say, rather decomposed door panel off of here. I want to save this though as a pattern so that we can try and recreate it. Then we'll see about getting the at the mechanism inside the door. Probably should try and peel the rest of this glass out without cutting myself as well. Let me get you set up on a stand and we'll start ripping and tearing here and see what we can get into. I have owned a GM door handle remover tool for what's got to be going on 30 years. I'm not sure if it's the right tool for this job or not, but of course, when I go to find it, no idea where it's hiding. Oh, there we go. So what we've got here is a horseshoe clip that lives in the back of this, and it engages with this groove here. The tool that I was trying to find is kind of a flat forked type thing that's designed to slip down, well, in this direction, catch those little tabs on the end of the horseshoe and flip them up out of there. But we may do with a putty knife. Now our interior trim just pops right off of there. Oh, you got to see this paint. Look at the color of that green. I don't know how well it shows up on camera. It is beautiful. And guessing that's what this used to be painted. Dang, I'm tempted to try and take that someplace and get a color match done on it so that we can redo the trim. I'd like the interior of the car to look basically like new. I don't know how realistic that is, given how crappy it looks right now. But that's what I'd like. Let me finish getting the rest of this glass done, and I will try and extract these door panels off of here, and I'll bring you back. Let's see if we can get that window track out of there so that we can try and template this window. Got the door panel off. Inside of those doors are going to need some rust treatment of some sort. Keep them from getting any worse. But it appears what we've got to do is we've got to get 2 Phillips screws out, and I think that channel will come out of there. That one starts, that one starts. All 4 of those are going to come out of there fairly easily. Let me put the camera down. I'll see if I can get that out of there, and we'll see what kind of shape it's in. Well, that certainly is interesting. Usually these use like a butyl setting tape. This seems to have some kind of rubber here. Unfortunately, it is pretty well done, and I don't think we're going to be able to reuse it. I think we're going to have to go with conventional setting tape when we get this put back together. This is just a little bit too cooked. But what we're going to have to do is peel this out. You can see we got some rust happening in there. Put it in the sandblaster or wire wheel or something. Get it all cleaned up. And maybe squirt a little bit of paint on it. Hey guys, it is another beautiful day here to work on 1950 Buick. I've got the last of the glass peeled out of this this channel. And need to get it worked out of here. Oops. I'm not too worried about tearing it a little bit, because I have managed to find this exact piece, and I've got some on order. They don't give it away for free, that's for sure. But it is available, and I think that that is a worthwhile thing to get. Helps us get these windows installed properly. I was only going to do like a temporary install here, but I think we're going to end up doing basically a proper job of it. Got some rot through there and some potential rot through there, but we can fix that up. Let me take this in the garage. I'll see if I can clean it up, either wire wheel or maybe take the sandblaster to it. It does have galvanizing, I think, on the outside. I don't really want to peel that off, but if we get this rust out of the center, that would be a good thing. I got the worst of the rust cleaned off of this track, or this tray that the window is going to sit in. It's not perfect by any means. As you can see, we got a bunch of rust through on either end, but for the most part, I think it'll be functional. I think replacements are available, but at this point, I don't think they're necessary. If we were doing a complete soup to nuts restoration on this car, maybe, but I just want to get it on the road. The idea here is that I'm going to get it screwed back in. We're going to run it up, take some measurements, and then make kind of a rough template of what we need for the window. Then we'll fit it in and cut the top to fit. If everything goes according to plan, we should be able to make a template fairly easily. So in other words, this is going to be a big challenge. But it's a nice plan anyways. That has it up at the top where it needs to be. That gives us a good place to measure off of. And we go up into this channel up here, and that'll give us our height. Let me take some measurements and I'll get a piece of plastic cut and I'll bring you back in a minute. That's a window. Well, it's not a window, but it's a template. I haven't trimmed anything off the top yet. So this is still a rectangular piece of plastic. It is not a true template yet. But I've got it jacked up in there kind of, approximately where it needs to go. And I figure I'll just trace that across the top. I don't know how well you guys can see, but we're down in that trough completely. Now that's not the line we actually want to cut. I think we want to cut parallel to that, taking the minimum height off of there that we need to. And we are right tight lengthwise, so I think we probably need to take another 1/8 of an inch off the length of it. I cut it oversized. I've already taken a 1/4 inch off of it. But I think another 1/8 is probably a good idea. Because that, if I had a piece of glass that size, it's not going in there. A little bit of a bow to the whole top, isn't there? It's not, I kind of thought this was flat back here, but I can see now there's a little bit of shape to the whole thing. Okay, let me get it out of there. We'll nip off the minimum amount and we'll see how it looks. This turned out to be a little bit trickier than I thought. And the problem, of course, is that we were dealing with a broken window. So disassembly was easy. Reassembly, on the other hand, was just a little bit tricky because, of course, this is a fixed distance. Or in its current situation, it's a fixed distance. And this plastic is flexible, but the glass won't be. What we ended up having to do, take these screws out, take this nut off, and I can kind of slide this whole channel forward just a little bit down inside the door. And it picks us up another 1/2, 3/8 of an inch. Now looking down into the door here, we're pretty loose. I think I'd like that glass to be like 1/8 of an inch. I think I took 1/8 of an inch too much off of that plastic. As you can see, we're not really in the channel as we roll on up. There we go. As you can see, we popped out of the channel, so this piece is not long enough. Just a little bit too loose. I did buy 3 pieces of this stuff, so we could make another one that's just a little bit longer. But I think before we do that, I'm going to take a crack at making one for the back here. This is going to be a bit more of a challenge because, of course, we don't have a vent window that we can open. The other side might be easier, simply because there's less glass to mess with. Well, let me see if I can peel all that stuff apart. And if we can get at that window, get it out of there, I think this is the easier side to try. Let me get that apart. I'll bring you guys back in a minute. We got this channel out. It put up a little bit more of a fight than the door did, but I think part of that was my fault. These holes here, this hole here, and is how you access the that rail, and it just wasn't real obvious how that worked. Anyways, I got it out. I'm starting to think I'm going to have to order in a full set of window sweeps for this car. That's $350 US. Because if we put new glass in here, first of all, it's not going to seal up at all. And second, I'm worried that we're just going to end up scratching the glass all to heck. That won't be good. But depending how expensive it is to do the glass, if it's getting it locally, if it's going to cost me $100 for windows, if I scratch them a little bit, I'll just replace them again. Not a big deal. but I do want to get this thing basically weather tight before snow comes, or at least get the main cabin. I don't know what we're going to do with the windshield yet. I guess we could cut a windshield out of Corroplast. That'll keep the snow out of the car at least. I am running out of daylight here today. I'm going to clean this strip up, and I'm going to start laying out a replacement window on the other piece of Corroplast. We'll see how it all comes together, but probably check back with you guys tomorrow and show the results. Well guys, that looks promising to me. The channel that the window mounts into is still drying. I cleaned it up and put a little bit of spray paint on it, so that's not in there yet. So we're just sitting on the kind of the roller mechanism. It's going to need a little bit more trimming, but there's the up position. Not perfect, but I think that's pretty well the down position. Maybe it's that, something along those lines. See, windows that only open halfway so the kids couldn't hang out the back is not a new thing. That looks like it dates back to the 50s. Anyways, that's where we're going to get to tonight. I'm going to start cleaning up here, and we'll be back working on some more rusty old stuff in the morning. Well guys, we got the second window in. I had to modify my template a little bit. Add a strip back in at the bottom here. It wasn't quite straight. But it does kind of sort of work. Windows don't roll down all the way, but that is definitely progress. Now, gotta have a little chat here about what the goals are. At this point, I am trying to get this car relatively weather tight, keep the worst of the winter out of it while it gets stored outside. More likely than not in a nice little parking spot just this side of the Ford. I think what I'm going to do is get a price on getting these windows cut locally and see how that compares to the $280 US kit that I've found online. But one problem that we're going to have with that is, as you can see, the whisker channel, or whatever you want to call it, that the window fits into is pretty much gone, pretty much rotted away. And my concern is if I put glass in here, we're just going to end up scratching the new glass quite badly. So is it really worth spending the $280 at this point in the process, or should I just get a couple more sheets of this Corroplast and make enough window blanks to fill the holes, and then we can worry about it in the spring when we start working on the car again? Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'm thinking along the lines of I'll just get a couple more pieces of Corroplast and we'll fill in the empty spots. I am thinking of getting Lexan for the windshield. I don't plan on doing that. I don't plan on putting the glass in this fall for sure. The $580 US. That's going to be $750, $800 by the time it lands in my hot little hands here in Canada. So, you know, that's a little bit out of the budget at the moment. I think that's as far as I'm going to take it with you guys along for the ride today. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm going to continue getting rid of the rest of this broken glass. All right, we got the passenger door that needs to be done, and the driver's side rear window that needs to come out of there. But you don't need to watch me doing those. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. If you got this far in the video, can you give me a thumb up, give me a like. If you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel. Maybe ring that bell icon. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Happy to hear feedback. And we'll catch you guys in the next mess. Thanks for watching.